seated position. So get yourself comfortable in whatever seat that you want to sit in for now. So you can sit in a chair. You can sit with your back up against a wall. You can sit on a cushion, a block, a pillow, a blanket, whatever you like. Okay. Now, once everyone gets seated, we will start. If there's any latecomers, there's latecomers. So.
Okay, give me a second to mute everyone.
Yep. Okay. So hi everyone, welcome to this yoga flow practice. We're going to be working a little bit more on finding our supports, finding a place that we can anchor down and a really nice foundation where we feel secure, at peace and safe. Okay, so as we move through our poses, there's going to be some poses that are going to be a little bit more of a struggle, perhaps. And so using any props such as a blanket or pillow or chair, we're going to move into a place of accessibility. So because most every pose you're able to do, you just have to tweak it to what works best for you. Don't worry if it takes you a while to get into the pose. We're going to be staying in each pose for a little bit of time. Okay, so right now just get yourself into a comfortable seat. So that might mean sitting on something and making sure that your spine is upright. Soften through your shoulders. Let's take the shoulders up towards our ears and roll them down and back away from the ears. So we want our head and our neck and our spine to be all in one line. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, and then close your eyes. So just allow yourselves to settle here in your seat and be aware of the space that you're in. Noticing things that are around you, feeling the firmness of the ground underneath you and whatever else you're sitting on at this moment. It might be soft, might be hard. You should feel really supported here. It shouldn't be an effort to sit in this space. And just give into the sense of sitting into the space as well. So allow your buttocks and whatever else is touching your mat or whatever's supporting you, just allow it to really relax. And then bring to mind things that make you feel supported and safe, not necessarily in control, but supported and safe. So these might be a feeling that makes you feel like that. It might be maybe some words, maybe an image that you bring to mind that makes you feel this way. Maybe it's just a place, maybe a person. Maybe there's a bunch of things. So be aware of that. And then bring your awareness to your body. And then just by moving up and down your body, notice how you're feeling today. So how are those muscles? How are those joints? How are those ligaments? How do the different parts of your body feel together? When you think about maybe the arm and the shoulder connecting, how does that feel? The legs and the hips connecting, how do they feel? Maybe the heart beating in the rib cage, how does that feel? And now begin to watch your breath. Notice the way that you're breathing, the way the breath is moving in and out of your body. Notice as well, as you notice the way that you're breathing, if your breathing changes at all when I begin to talk, or when I suggest a change in something in your body or doing something else, if your breath changes. Notice those changes. So don't try to control the breath, just allow the breath to move in and out of the body, just watching it. And as you breathe, open up your ears a little bit more. Go inside your body and listen. Listen to yourself breathe. Notice what that sound did to your breath, the sound of your breath, movement of your breath. And then what about that sound? Listen to the sound, notice what it's doing to your breath or to your body or anything else you notice. Are you still supported and anchored in your seat? Did you lose that feeling? Did you lose that anchor? Or is it still there? Now, as I play the singing bowl, listen to the sound until you can't hear it any longer. Notice what happened, what's happening, and then begin to watch your breath again, listening to your breath move in and out of your body. If you felt off-centered or unanchored, bring yourself back to that anchor, to that center, to that support. And on your next breath, bring your arms up into the air. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Inhale as much as you possibly can. Keep inhaling until you can't inhale any longer. And then exhale, bring the arms all the way back down. Exhale, 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 squeezing out all of the air. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Root down, lift up as high as you can. Keep inhaling. And then exhale when you can't inhale any longer. Keep rooting down as you exhale. Keep rooting down. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Keep exhaling if you can. And then breathing in normally. Okay, we're gonna bring ourselves into child's pose. So child's pose is on the knees. And it's not gonna be for everybody. So adjust it. So regular child's pose, we're onto our shins, okay? And our buttocks are sitting somewhat onto our heels. And we're putting our forehead onto the ground. Our arms are reaching out. If that doesn't work for you, use a blanket underneath your knees. Or come up onto the knees and just maybe bring the forearms down like this. Or maybe perhaps you might have to come into sit on a chair and then just lower your chest down towards your thighs. So find what will work for you. So play around with it. Be really explorative and curious about what will work for you at this time. Some people also, another good way is taking a block and then just bringing it underneath your buttocks and just sitting on it and then coming forward. So that's an option as well too. But play around with it. There's so many different options, just as unique as you are. So find what works for you. There should be no pain. If there's any pain whatsoever, change the position that you're in. We want to feel relaxed, grounded, and safe and secure. We want a really nice, strong foundation where we can really relax into it. So as soon as you found your place, you can start to relax, be in tune with your breath again. Maybe you need to tweak it every once in a while just to find a better place that you can land. And just breathe. Notice places in the body that might feel tight or constricted or sticky or stuck or tense or any other feeling that isn't agreeable. And bring your attention to those places and breathe into those places. Send your intention in those directions. If something doesn't feel good, breathe into those spaces. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. Allow those breaths to be nice, full, deep breaths. Allowing your sympathetic nervous system, the system that says, I can rest and digest and be at peace in my body. We want that one. That nervous system to kick in. I think there's one more breath here. And then you're going to bring yourself up into a table. And again, this is a pose that might not be accessible for everybody, so make it your own. Maybe you need to use a chair. Maybe you need to use a table. Maybe you need to put something underneath your knees again. So the idea is the hands are spread out, Point your fingers pointing ahead. You're putting the weight into your hands, not into the wrist itself, not down here, but into the knuckles underneath your up knuckles, right underneath here, right in the hands and right into those fingers and into the thumb itself. So pushing the weight in there, putting some weight there. The weight's not necessarily on the knees, it's more on underneath the knees and more onto the shin and on top of the feet. If it doesn't feel good on top of the feet, you can always curl your toes as well. So finding yourself into a table. And we're working on stability and our anchor. And our anchor comes from our tailbone. So we're gonna start to move in cow and cat from our tailbone, okay? So the movement's gonna trickle up the spine. So the tailbone moves first, and it's going to move upwards as the belly lowers, and having that movement trickle up the spine until it gets into the neck and into the head, and the head moves up. And then we're moving again into cat. So you're gonna move from the tailbone. So the tailbone is going to lower down as the lower back moves upwards, middle back moves up, shoulders and upper back move up, the head moves down with the neck, and we're into our cat. We're gonna keep on moving that way from the tailbone. Tailbone moves first, moving right through the spine as it trickles all the way back up to the head. And we'll move it again. Tailbone moves first, back and all the way back into our cat. Going nice and slow, taking our time, paying attention. The toes may be curled or they might be right on top of the feet. I got a cat playing with my hair. So moving into cow and into cat from the tailbone. We're going to do this 3 more times. Going slow at your own pace, taking any pauses that you feel like you need to take when you need to take them. Feel as if you're very supported and anchored down. Okay, I think this is the last one. And then come back to your tabletop. Hold it there for a moment, noticing what you notice. And then you're going to sit back into hero pose. So that's onto your shins. And again, once we come into this pose, this is a different pose. So adjust it to make it your own. So that might mean you need pillows underneath you or a blanket underneath you, or you might be sitting onto something. So find out what works for you. The option can also be that you're maybe sitting on a chair. Try different things out until they work for you. Don't feel like you're cheating, because you're not. You're doing what you need to do, whatever works for you. Okay? So the most important thing is we're sitting upright and comfortable. That's the most important thing. Then bring your hands towards your heart and close your eyes. And accept wherever you are, in whatever position you are in, close enough. Soften through your face, soften through your shoulders. Okay, on your next breath, you're going to bring the arms all the way up above your head, reaching up, high, high, high up. We're going to take the left hand and we're going to reach it back behind us. So it might reach down onto the ground. It might not, it might hover. If you need to grab something so you're supported. So you're reaching down and touching something. Okay, so the left arm is reaching down, the right arm is reaching up. And we're in a little bit of a twist here. We can lean back if we like, if we need to. Just holding it here and breathing. And again, feeling as if you're rooted down and you're safe and secure. You're not going to tip over, fall over. Notice what's happening to your breath. Are you distracted? Try to find your center. If your eyes are open and you feel like you're looking all over the place, close your eyes and look inwards. Take another breath here. Paying attention to all the different sensations that are happening in the body. Trying not to struggle with anything. On your next inhale, take your left hand and reach it all the way back up again. Up high, high, high. And then exhale, bring your hands back down towards your heart. And then just hold it there for a moment. And then just notice again what happened with all of that. Really trying to pay attention to what happened with the breath, what was happening in your mind. Were you able to come back to your anchor, to your center, or were you distracted? Okay, let's inhale again. Bring both arms up into the air. Reach up as high as we possibly can. Still rooting down through our seat, however we're seated. And then take that right arm and reach it all the way back behind you again. Noticing if there's anything in the way, like was in the way of me. And then just plunk that hand down. Support it with something. And maybe it doesn't have, maybe it can't go all the way back there. Maybe it has to come and sit on your lap. That's perfectly fine too. Make adjustments to what suits you. Be accommodating. Okay, so we're still reaching that left arm all the way up. Right arm is reaching down behind us. A little bit of a twist here. Feel the openness in your chest and in your armpit. And again, notice, are your eyes open or closed? If they're open, are you being distracted? If you are, close your eyes and look inwards. And again, being aware of what's happening here. Do you feel supported and safe? If you don't, change it. Do you feel you're in your center and are you anchored? Let's take one more breath here. See if you can soften a little bit more. And then inhale, take that right arm and reach it all the way back up. Reach up as high as you can. And then exhale, bring your hands towards your heart. Okay, settle here for a moment and just do a little check-in again. Notice. Okay, we're going to change again. Bring your hands again on down onto your thighs. We're going to take the right leg and we're going to bring it up into a lunge. So if you're sitting on a chair, just do the best you can. Maybe the right knee, the right foot is going to come up onto the sofa or the chair. Try different things and see what works for you. You can even get something and put it in front of you, like a stool or something, and put the foot up. Excellent. Be creative. Do whatever is necessary. Okay, so find yourself supported here. So we don't want to be holding on really to anything. We want to be supported. So maybe Bob, maybe put your foot on the chair or maybe get something to put the foot on so it's supported underneath the foot. So we just have to play around here and see what happens. The foot doesn't have to be up that high. The knee doesn't have to be in your face. Okay, so find your support here and then bring your hands towards your heart. And just notice different things. For some of us, we might be rocking a little bit. We shouldn't be feeling any pain. Might be a little bit of discomfort, that's okay. Okay, we're gonna do another little twist, so bring the arms up above our heads again. Take the left arm, reach it down, and we're just doing a little twist here. We're not forcing the twist, just go where you can go comfortably. Breathe. Make sure you're not holding your breath here. Let's breathe. Okay, and then inhale, bring both arms up again. Reach them up. And then over towards the other side. Just take a breath here again. Don't force the position. And then inhale, bring your arms all the way back up. And then bring the hands back towards your heart. Okay, we're going to change the legs again. So getting into the position, the opposite of this. So bring your hands down, take that right leg, bring it back, and the left leg comes up. So it's going to feel totally different on this side. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do to find yourself supported and anchored down. Again, it feels totally different on this side, at least it does for me. So find yourself here, find yourself supported and comfortable as much as you possibly can. Might find yourself a little bit off balance. That's okay. This is as long as you don't fall. That's the main thing. We want to make sure that we feel good. Okay, bring the arms all the way up. Okay, and we're going to twist towards the right this time. So take your right hand and bring it back behind you. Find yourself supported. Open up through your chest. Don't force the position. See if you can just ease into it. Notice what's happening with your breath. Making sure that you stay safe and supported. Okay, inhale, bring that right arm all the way back up. And then let's move the other direction. Left arm comes down. Okay, little twist here. We're still staying as upright as we possibly can. So try to make some adjustments. You can tilt a little bit, do a little bit of a back bend, that's okay, but make sure you feel supported wherever you are. Your arm doesn't have to be totally straight either, can have a bend in the elbow. And again, do you feel supported here and safe? What's going on with your breath? Are you distracted? Okay, inhale the left arm all the way back up. Good, and then bring the arms, back towards your heart. Take a moment here. And then we're gonna get out of this pose. Phew, thank goodness. Bring your arms down. Get the leg out. We're coming back into our hero pose for a moment. Then we're gonna go right back into our child's pose. So adjust yourself there. And then from child's pose, we're gonna move into our downward dog. So take a few breaths in child's pose. Then when you're ready, we're gonna move into downward dog. So we're gonna have the movement coming from our tailbone. So curling the toes under and then lifting up, nice bend into the knees. You wanna use a chair, you can use a chair. Totally fine to use a chair. Okay, we wanna have a nice healthy bend in the knees, lengthen down through your spine. Okay, so stretching out, don't worry about stretching out the legs. We don't need to worry about that. We want to just have those sit bones going up towards the sky. Use the chair if you need a chair. Just stretch yourself out here. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, one more breath here. Push into your fingers and your knuckles, not into your wrists. And then we're going to bring ourselves down. So gently bring the knees down. And we're going to move over onto one hip and sit down. Okay, so we're gonna move ourselves into a shoelace, or they're also called cow face legs. So the legs are kind of crossed like this. So you do what you need to do. One leg is coming back behind us. So I have the right leg over the left leg. I have the left foot over by my right hip and my right foot over by my left foot, my left hip. And the knees are stacked. Now, of course, this is not accessible to everybody. So we need to make adjustments. So that might mean the bottom leg might need to be straight, or the top of the leg might need to be straight. Or we just wiggle around until we find a place that feels the best for us. Maybe we just cross them at the shin. Maybe we just cross them at the ankle. Play around until you find a place, again, where it feels good for you. You can sit on a blanket or a pillow. You can put something underneath your knees for a little bit more support. But find a place where you feel anchored and safe. We want to have both buttock cheeks on the ground. And we're sitting up nice and tall. And again, don't force anything. We're trying to feel safe and supported here. And if we put ourselves into a position that we don't feel safe and supported, then everything else is kind of like out the window. Nothing's going to be very beneficial. So safe and supported first. And then we can get in touch with our breath again. Close our eyes. If you want, you can bring your hands onto your legs, holding onto your feet if you like. Soften your face. Soften your shoulders. And just breathe. Notice the position that you're in, how it feels. If you have your eyes open and you feel distracted, close your eyes. Okay, we're going to do a little twist here. So bring your arms up again, up into the air. And we're going to twist over towards the left side first. So twist over towards the left. The arms are going to come down wherever they land. Don't force the twist. Just go where you can go. So if you want to move your head a little further, do so. But don't force it. Try to keep the shoulders soft. On your next inhale, coming all the way back up. Bring your arms back up and your torso back to center. And then we'll move over towards the right side. And again, just moving nice and slow and fluid over towards that side. Allow the arms to just relax, shoulders relaxed, face is relaxed. If you want to move the head a little bit further, you can do so, but don't force it. And then inhale, bring the arms back up. Bring the torso back to center. And then bring your arms all the way back down. Okay, so now we need to get out of this pose. So there's a bunch of ways to get out, but be very attentive to how to get out. So you might just move one leg at a time. You might bring yourself forward. So find out what works best for you and do so gently. Maybe you need to stretch your legs out and give them a little shake. Okay, and then we'll move in the opposite direction. And just because it might have felt good on one side, or it might have been easy or more difficult on one side, it might not be the same on this side. It might be easier, it might be more difficult. So again, go to where you can go. Don't force it. Try to sit up tall. Bring your hands to wherever they feel comfortable. And maybe just notice how it feels on this side compared to the other side. If you were able to easily get into this side. Notice what's happening in the body, in the hips, in the knees, in any other part of the body. And try not to judge or criticize yourself. You know, we can do only what we can do. You know, there's always limitations that our body has, and we have to respect those limitations. Those limitations are there for a reason. Those limitations are saying, hey, if you push, I'm going to get hurt. And we don't want that. Okay, it's to keep you safe. So sitting up nice and tall, close your eyes again and just settle yourself here. Make sure your both buttock cheeks are onto the ground, feeling safe and supported. And your next breath, bring your arms all the way up into the air. And we'll do a twist again. So we're going to go over to the right side this time. So twist your torso over to the right side, bring your arms down where they land. Soften through your shoulders, soften your face. If you want to move your head a little bit further, do so without struggling or forcing it. Take a breath there. See if you can soften. And then on your next breath, come back to center, bring your arms all the way back up again. And then we'll go over to the other side. Over towards the left side, twist, bring the arms down. Wherever they land, you might not be able to twist as far. Maybe your head wants to go a little bit further without struggling or forcing it. And again, see if you can soften just a little bit more. And then on your next breath, bring your arms all the way back up. Your torso back to center. And then bring your arms all the way back down. Take a moment here. And then come out of this sticky little pose. So unwind yourself, stretch out your legs. Maybe wiggle them around a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to come back, going back into a downward dog. So maybe you want to try and get into it a different way, but we're going to work on moving through the tailbone first. Okay, so the tailbone is going to move. So you can come from a tabletop if you want, but the knees might have to go back a little bit more, or come from child's pose. Push into your hands, have your toes pushing into the ground, and then lift those sit bones up towards the sky. Don't worry if the knees are bent. That's not what we're working on. Trying to get that sit bone all the way up towards the sky. Pushing into those feet, allowing the heels to reach back. Opening up through the chest. If you need to use a chair or something else to feel just a little bit more supported, please do so. We're just going to take a few breaths here. Okay, and then we're going to bring ourselves into a lunge. So that might mean the knees might have to come down and come into a lunge, right foot forwards, or you might be able to take that right foot and slide it forwards into a lunge. I'm going to come around this way. Okay, so this is where you might need those blocks or pillows or something else. Okay, so we're into a lunge. The knee might be down, and that's perfectly okay, but we're going to push ourselves up, standing up. Okay, so we're going to come up, maybe adjust the foot, and we're going to come all the way up. So plunk that right foot, left foot down. It's about it's about 45 degrees, maybe 35 degrees. Okay, and then adjust your feet a little bit more. And we're going to straighten out both feet. So you can create some space between the legs. You're going to bring your hands onto your waist. So we never want to lock the knees. We always want to have a little bit of a flexible knee. We want to have a little bit of a give into it. We don't want them locked. Okay, so hands are on your hips. Shoulders are sliding down your back, standing up nice and tall. We're going to lean forward from our hip flexor, pushing into our feet and making sure that we feel really anchored down here. Spread your toes as much as you can, and we're just going to lean ourselves forwards. If you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. We want to feel nice and supported here. So we're just going to go as far as we can go, trying to keep a flat level back. We don't want to round up through the back. So open up through the shoulders. The neck is in line with the spine, and we're just going to go to where we can go. When we start to feel some things happening in the body without really bending into that front knee, stop. Just stop. And just hold it there. And just notice what's happening. And again, if you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. Notice what's happening to your breathing. You might feel it a little bit wobbly. That's okay. Notice what you're happening with your head. My head was up a little bit, so I can bring it down. So make sure that the neck is in line with your spine. Hold it there. On your next breath, you're going to slowly come back up. If you need to walk your hands up a wall or a chair or something, do so. Go slow. Good. Standing up nice and tall. Maybe soften through the shoulders a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to take a step forwards. Take a step forwards, standing on both feet. So both feet are together. Okay. Keeping your hands on your hips, or if you need to hold on to something, lift your toes up, spread your toes apart. All the toes, all 10 toes, pushing into the ball of your feet. And again, feel as if you have roots going down right through the ball of the feet and through the heel. Make sure you're breathing. Notice what's happening here. If you're getting distracted, maybe focus either on one particular thing or close your eyes. That's really going to help with your stability. Closing your eyes. Focus on really rooting down through those feet. If you feel dizzy at all, please open your eyes. Don't get dizzy. Okay. Now, very, very gently, bring the little baby toe down. Just the baby toe. Keep the other toes up. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're not holding your breath. There's a tendency to do that. Okay, lift the baby toes up. Bring the big toes down. Keep pushing in through the heel. Notice what's happening in the rest of your body. Okay, and then lift those big toes up. Lift all the toes up, really press into the ball of the feet. Okay, and then bring all the toes down. All the toes come down. Good. Okay, find your security there. And then you're going to take the right leg and you're going to reach it back. So again, like we were doing, and the foot is about 45 degrees. And just space the legs out where you feel supported. The knees are not locked. They're flexible. You're standing up nice and tall. Your hands are still on your hips unless you want to give them a little shake. And then put them back onto your hips. Shoulders are sliding down your back. Neck is long. And again, we're going to hinge right from those hip flexors right here. Okay, and we're going to go forwards. So try to keep a level back, noticing where you need to stop. Okay, try to keep the neck long with the head. Go slow, root down through both feet. Nice and slow. Notice all the things that are happening here in your body. So many sensations are happening at the same time. Go to where you can go and then stop. If you need to hold on to something to balance, do so. Hold it here. Notice the wibbly wobbly that's happening in the body as your body tries to find the balance. Focus on something. Try to have equal weight between both knees, both feet. Okay, one more breath here. And then slowly we're going to bring ourselves all the way back up. Nice and slow. Good. And then maybe bring your arms down, shake them out a little bit. We're going to take a step forward again. holding on if you need to. What time is it? Okay. Okay, this time, bring your hands maybe behind your back. If you still need to hold on to something, please hold on to something, okay? Security and foundation is what's way more important, but relax the shoulders down. You can even hold on to something behind you if you like. Okay. So we're going to move our attention into our toes this time, and then just pick up the heels. It's not going to be very much. The knees can be bent a little bit. So we're just going to hover those heels up, standing up nice and tall. And then again, root down through those 10 toes. The balls of the feet can still be on the ground. Try to not collapse. Soften through your shoulders. If you feel like your shoulders are creeping up, reach your arms down a little bit further behind you. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. Okay, and then gently place the heels back down. Feel the weight being equally distributed again. Notice your toes. Wiggle your toes a little bit. We'll just do that one more time. Put the weight into the toes, slowly moving the weight away from the heels. Soften through your face, through your shoulders. Weight is coming into the toes. Hold yourself here. Breathe. Try to stay as upward as you can. We're not leaning ourselves forwards. We're staying upward, as if there's a string attached to the crown of the head. We're holding ourselves here. Try to put as much pressure into your little baby toes as in your big toe. You might be swaying back and forth. So windy. Hold it there. Okay, and then slowly move the heel all the way back into the ground. Bring your arms all the way up into the air. Give yourself a nice big stretch. And then bring your hands towards your heart. Okay, so we're going to move ourselves into eagle legs. And again, if you need to hold on to something, please do. So we're not going to do arms unless you really want to. We're just going to work a little bit more on our anchoring. So bend into the knees a little bit. Okay, our hands, body, and mind are the hands, and we're connecting them right by our hearts. Okay, we're going to shift the weight into the right leg, and then you're going to cross the left leg over the right leg. And it might just be like this. Okay, if you want, you can bring the leg all the way around and maybe hover it in the air, or you might want to bend into it a little bit more and really try to anchor that foot right behind the calf. So standing on one leg. So we really want to put the weight mostly into that that right leg, sitting up as tall as we can. So finding our anchor here. If you need to hold on to something while we're doing this, please do. So finding where you can create accessibility and support in your body. And that support might come from more than just your foot. It might come from a hand or a hip or a thigh or something else. So breathe here, hold yourself here. Notice what's happening. Okay. And then we're going to unwind nice and slow, being totally in control as we get out of this pose. Bring that left foot back and just plant it down and just hold it there. And just notice. Notice sensations that are coming out of all of this. Breathe. Okay, we'll move on to the other side now. So we're going to bend into the knees a little bit. Push down into that left foot. Take the right leg and then bring it and wrap it around to wherever it goes. This side might be more difficult. This is all I'm going to do today. Right here. Find a place where you can anchor that left foot. And just breathe. Try to relax your face and your shoulders. You might find this side a little bit shakier. That's okay. Just be where you can be. Don't try to struggle with it. Just find a place where you can be supported and safe. Excellent. Okay. And then we're going to take that right leg and slowly ease out of this position. Put the foot back down, standing up nice and tall. And then let's bring our arms all the way down, right by our sides, and coming into our mountain pose. The strongest of all the poses. So feeling yourself as that mountain, rooting down, feeling really strong here in our standing position. Breathing. If you can, maybe close the eyes if you feel secure in your position. You feel like you need the eyes open, then just focus on one thing, or you're focusing inwards. Noticing the way that you're breathing, kind of things that are moving through your mind, how you feel, if you feel centered, supported, and safe. Okay, one more breath here, and then we're going to move ourselves back down to the floor. So open up your eyes, and then with your breath, move in whatever way you need to move to get back down onto that floor. So I'm going to choose Malasana because that's my favorite pose. I'm going to go all the way down, but you can get down any way that you choose. You can use your hands. Don't worry. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves into butterfly. So the soles of the feet are together. And we're going to just hold on to the shins or the toes or the thighs. And your legs are going to be up a little bit. That's okay, because we're going to flap. And we're sitting up nice and tall. So see if you can soften through your face. I'll soften through your shoulders. And we're just flapping the legs up and down a little bit. We're not forcing the legs down. Smile. Takes way less energy. One of my teachers from India, he likes to say, joy is our nature and smiling is our birthright. And I really like that because I think it's so true. Joy is our nature. We're supposed to be joyful. And aren't we all born with a smile on our faces? I hope so. Okay, just allow your knees to stop for a moment. Close your eyes if you can. And just see if you can feel yourself supported here. For some of you, it might be a little bit more of a struggle because you feel your knees hovering up in the air. But just notice what's going on here. Trying to sit up as tall as you can. Okay. And then you can bring your knees together. And then you're going to lie down onto your back. Lay down onto your back. If you wish, instead of being, because you're all at home, if you wish, instead of going into Savasana, you want to do legs up the wall. Beautiful. You could even do legs up the couch. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you have a wall or a couch in front of you or a chair, you lie on your back and you just bring the legs onto the chair or up onto the wall. So your feet might be on the wall or your heels are on the wall. And if you are going towards the wall, maybe bring your buttocks a little bit closer. But if you're against a chair or a couch, you can just bring your legs up and support them on the whatever you're putting your legs on. A stool, a chair, the wall, whatever. Or you can just allow the legs to be up in the air. Or you can bring your legs down into Savasana. Entirely up to you. Wherever that you feel comfortable and relaxed. And we'll stay here for a few minutes. Allow your breath to relax. Keep softening in your body. Watching your breath. Allow the sound of singing bowl to help to anchor you deeper into your space. Peacefully allow your breath to deepen. Notice the space that you're in. Bring your attention back. Bring some motion back to the body by wiggling fingers and toes. When you're ready, giving yourself a nice big stretch. Maybe a hug. Whatever makes you feel good. And then moving yourself into a fetal position over onto your side. Doesn't matter which side. Whatever side's speaking to you at this moment. And then when you're ready, push yourself up into a comfortable seat. So whatever seat you want to sit in, being supported by whatever you need to use. A chair, a pillow, a blanket, a block, whatever you need. Whatever comfortable place you can. Close your eyes, soften your faces, soften your shoulders. Just bring your hands onto your thighs or your knees. Palms face down, just to create a little bit more grounding, stability. Direct your attention towards your belly and your breath. And allow yourself just to belly breathe. If you're not sure, maybe place your hands on your belly and just allow your breath to move into the belly and back out again. The breath isn't being forced. It's just long and deep. Breath is as supported as well, supporting you in your seat, in your body. And as you breathe, notice the way that you feel supported. Again, that same question that I asked you at the beginning of practice. Where do you feel your support? Is it a feeling? Is it a way of looking at things? Is it an image? Is it a position? Do you feel supported right now? You don't have to be. I hope you are. And then just take a few moments just to reflect on your practice today, on different things that you've just learned about yourself. Where you find your support and your anchor. In what positions that you needed a little bit more support, or you had to change things up just a little bit. Now, if you practice this whole thing again tomorrow, it could be totally different. So reflecting on whatever happened and being very acceptable to it all, being content with however things made their way or the way they became in your practice today. Be content with however things happened. Okay, we'll close this practice today. So bring your hands towards your heart, bowing your head, giving yourself the gratitude that you greatly deserve for being here, for practicing, for being a lot more aware and attentive to what's happening in your body, in your mind, and how you can change things to make them a lot more accessible to you. Let's finish this practice with one joint Om. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Inhale for one Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you were able to find a place of landing that felt secure and safe. Thanks.